Okay, so we are recording. All right, so welcome, you guys. We are going to do a little workshop, a little webinar today on, I call it sugar, not so sweet, because sometimes it's sweet, but sometimes it kind of damages us a little bit, you know? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm here and how I got here and why I like to talk about sugar. Essentially, I used to be a teacher. Many moons ago, I taught middle school and then resigned to stay home and raise my children. What I didn't know was that when my daughter was born, she was going to have some health challenges. And with those health challenges came a whole new passion for nutrition, for education, for a way for me to be able to help and give back to people. So fast forward a little bit, we worked through all of my daughter's health challenges. We learned so much about nutrition and how certain foods can harm you or can heal you depending on who you are. And then I had my son, and then my husband was like, okay, we're broke, go back to work. Like, what are you doing? And at that point I was like, I don't know that I want to do that. I love being home with my kids. And I feel like I found a whole new passion for nutrition because people would stop me everywhere I went. Somehow people knew that my daughter had allergies and that I knew about helping feed toddlers and children. And Debbie, you were one of those people, right? We ended up connecting that way.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go back to school to become a certified holistic health coach, opened up a practice, and started working with people one-on-one. And here's what happened. The thing that I heard the most was, I was good all day. And then right? You guys agree with me?
Mhm.
So I've heard that so many times that I'm like, no, I don't like that people shame themselves because they were bad. We are not good or bad based on what we eat, right? We do the best that we can when we can. And so I started really looking into sugar and cravings and addictions and what that all meant. And I learned a lot. And I'm going to share a whole bunch of stuff with you guys today. But I want to hear from you a little bit. Why don't you tell me, because we've heard like sugar is bad, right? Sugar is just bad for you. Why do you feel like, for nothing scientific, nothing fancy, but like for you, your perspective, your life, your health, why do you feel that sugar doesn't serve you? And I'm assuming that you feel that way because otherwise you wouldn't be on this call listening, right? So
Mhm.
what is it about sugar that doesn't make you feel great? Or why do you want to get rid of it?
Well,
Wait.
I always felt like I was tired all the time and always just, I always felt tired all day long. And I felt like I just could never get out of it no matter what I did. I would wake up in the morning tired,
And do you,
never wanting to work out because I was always like, oh, I'm too tired. I'll do it tomorrow.
yeah. And you
And
think
the
sugar
whole
plays a
day.
role in that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. No, I do too. I'm just,
Yeah.
anybody else feel that way or like that lack of energy? Yeah, Melissa, you're nodding your head. Anything specific?
I personally feel addicted to sugar. I feel like I get a little bit and then something is like the craving and I feel like I need a little bit more and it just doesn't like stop.
Mhm.
And Dolores, you feel the same way. It just doesn't
Yes.
stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you guys notice patterns? Is it something like, oh, 3 o'clock? Is it at 9 o'clock at night? Is it all day? Like, talk to me about that a little bit.
Definitely in the morning, I'll put some sugary creamer.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it starts first thing in the morning and then I can eat a really healthy breakfast. I can eat a really healthy lunch. As soon as lunch is done, I want something to be small, but I want something.
Like a
And then
Hershey's or something little. Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
I'll eat very healthy vegetables, fruit, really healthy, clean meals, but I still want a little something sweet.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
The same way. All right. Joanne, you do too. I see you nodding your head, but you're muted. Hold on, Joanne, because you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
There you go.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Hi.
So I just started doing a program on Monday that I'm trying to, basically what they want you to do is eat single ingredient food.
Mhm.
So nothing processed, and it's just to try and get you to detox. But last night I had to have an ice cream sundae, and I want you to know I enjoyed every bite of it, and then it killed me afterwards.
Killed you
Absolutely killed me
physically or emotionally?
physically.
Okay. Okay.
Killed me.
Like your stomach.
Yes. Oh my God. It was terrible. But I have been trying to get away from sugar for a while. So I have switched to monk fruit, which I like. It
Okay.
is not as sweet. And as soon as you go back to eating sugar, you need more of the monk fruit because you've gotten your taste for sugar back.
Mhm. It's true. And that I'm glad you brought that up. Like our taste buds really change. And I'll tell you that for me, when I have my coffee, I would have like a teaspoon of sugar. And then I was like, all right, let's see if I can cut it down to half a teaspoon. All right. And now I just drink it with no sugar at all. My husband's like, that's just gross. But now if I take a sip of his coffee, I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. But it was a gradual process. But if I started sipping his coffee over and over again, I'd be like, oh, that is kind of good after a while, because now my taste buds are evolving that way, right? So the same way that you want more sweet, you can also train your taste buds opposite. So keep that in mind, that's something we can work towards as well. Debbie, did you want to add anything?
Well, I use the vanilla coffee creamer,
Okay.
every morning, and
Mhm.
I don't want to give it up. But to me, it's worth it.
Okay, that's fine. And you shouldn't. So,
But I don't put sugar in it. I just use a little of that.
well, because that's very sugary too. You probably don't need sugar. And you know what? Let me say one thing, and we're going to talk about this in a minute. I'm not saying give up all your sugar and never eat sugar again, because A, that's unrealistic, and B, life is worth enjoying and we should have a little sugar here and there, right? Says the woman who was eating birthday cake like an hour ago. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I might as well finish my birthday cake. I'm like, how ironic that I'm giving this workshop today when all I did was shove chocolate cake in my face. But the truth is that we're real and we're human and it's okay, right? So here's what I want to do for you today. I want to change your relationship with sugar so that you pick and choose when you want to eat it and what you want to eat, as opposed to your cravings controlling you. And that to me is the biggest difference that you can make in your health, is when you're in control and not your taste buds or your cravings controlling you and telling you what to do, right? So that's what I want to work on. I don't want you to never eat sugar again, because that's not nice at all. Why do you guys think sugar is bad? Like what you said to me, it makes me tired. You guys said sometimes it makes me not feel well. Anybody else want to throw something else out there? Or
Doesn't it cause inflammation in the
yeah,
body?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So do you ever feel more achy if you eat a lot of sugar? Does that happen to anybody?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's happened to
It
me.
lowers your immune system.
Lowers your immune system. You guys are hitting them all right. I love it. Yes. Do you know that when you eat a certain amount of sugar, your immune system literally shuts down for like 4 hours? So now, and I always bring that up at Halloween, because I'm like, you're eating candy and you're trick-or-treating around as many germs as you possibly can be. And literally, you don't have soldiers fighting for you right now. Everyone's sleeping.
Hmm.
So it does lower your immune system. The second anybody in my house has any sniffle, anything, I'm like, there's no sugar. They hate me. I'm like, nothing, because I know that we need to strengthen your immune system. So yes, immune system, inflammation. Anything else?
Something with your blood sugar level, like I don't know.
Well,
It
throws
raises your blood sugar.
Yeah, it throws your blood sugar level all over the place. And that's one of the things that I am going to talk to you. I'm going to show you a great chart, and we're going to get to that. That's huge, because what goes up must come down. So you're spiking and crashing and spiking and crashing. The insulin in your body is going crazy. Every time you spike, your insulin is like, oh my gosh, bring the blood levels down. And then you're too low, and then you're up, and then you're low. And so it kind of throws things all over the place, and it's taxing on your pancreas, and that's how we get pre-diabetic and all that stuff. You guys, it can cause cardiovascular disease, increase your cholesterol, obviously contribute to diabetes, right? It can actually lead to cancer. Why? Because it changes the acidity in your body, and cancer loves sugar.
I heard that.
Yes, I just want to make a blanket statement. I'm not saying that you can cure cancer by not eating sugar, or that if you never eat sugar, you'll never get cancer. I don't want to make those claims. but it does change the pH of your body, Dolores, like you said, and cancer feeds on that. So if you know anyone that is going through cancer treatments or newly diagnosed, be an amazing family or friend and tell them to eliminate all sugar from their diet, because that will help tremendously. It makes your skin age. Like, it just takes the collagen away from your skin. You want that healthy glow, right? And so eating that sugar really ages you and breaks you down. And one of the things that it does, which sounds so silly, that is so important to me, but it is so important to me, it makes you full. And I know that sounds crazy, but here's why I feel that way. There are two things that we can do to our body. We can add good food, or when we're talking about food, right? So like, we can be adding good, or we could be adding not so good food, right? But when you add chocolate cake, for example, like I had chocolate cake at 4 o'clock today, not the smartest thing to do an hour and a half before dinner, right? So when dinner came, I wasn't so full. So, I mean, I was kind of full, so I wasn't so hungry, is what I meant to say. So not only did I add the bad, but it made me full so that I didn't even want to add the good. So it's almost like a double negative. Because if I know, okay, I'm going to have a cookie, but then I'm going to have a salad, or vice versa, you know, I'm going to have a salad and then I'll have a cookie, it balances out. I'm doing good for my body. Even if I do a little bad, I'm doing good. But if you're doing so much sweet, you're doing the bad, but you're never adding the good. So I always think about that. And I feel like none of you guys have little kids. Melissa, are your kids young? How young are they?
Yeah, I got a 6 is my youngest, and then 10 and 11.
Okay, so I do a whole workshop on picky eaters, and one of the things that we talk about in picky eaters is like, make sure that you take the opportunities when your kids are really hungry to give them all those good foods, because they're starving. If they're going to come home after school and eat a sugary snack, they're not going to eat all the good stuff for dinner. They're just not going to be hungry. You're not going to get it into them, you know? So just think about that a little bit.
Eater's going to be 16.
Your picky eaters going to be 16? I don't know about that. That's a whole other workshop. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. No, I can help you. I promise. I got tricks for you. All right. So I learned something about sugar that changed my whole perspective on the way I look at it completely. And I'm going to share that with you in a little bit. But ideally, it's your body always wants to be balanced. Your body's going to do everything it can to balance itself. So when you're craving things, it's your body's way of speaking and telling you, like, this is what I need. Sometimes it's telling you I'm thirsty, but you hear, oh, I need chocolate. That's not what your body's saying. Your body's saying I'm thirsty. You hear I need chocolate. Or, you know, I'm tired. And you're like, yes, of course I'll eat some cookies and ice cream. You know what I mean? So the messages are a little disconnected, but your body is speaking to you. And we're always trying to get balanced. So keep that in the back of your mind as we go through and talk a little bit now. So the first thing I want to do, I am going to share my screen. I'll see you guys on the side. I'll see you a little bit, not too much, but is because I want to figure out how much sugar you think you're actually consuming. And I'm going to give you some visuals, and then I'm going to ask you to then
Not helping at all.
at some point
She
work
needs
on
something
this
for pain.
at home. Joanne, you want to mute
Okay.
yourself?
Yes, sorry.
No, you're fine. I just didn't know if you knew that you were unmuted. Where's my slideshow? Oh, so here's the whole slideshow that I decided not to do from the beginning, but I'll show you a picture of my daughter there, my family. This was recent, but that's really what started me on this journey of health and wellness and helping people. So I like to show off my cute kids. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. Okay, so here I'm going to share with you. This is a video of me pouring sugar into my hand. I did this just the other day. And this is the exact amount of sugar that is in a healthy yogurt and a healthy granola bar. Okay. So we're looking at two healthy options. And this is the amount of sugar that is in them. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. So I want you to have this as a visual moving forward, because sometimes we are unaware of how much sugar we're eating. And we think we're doing a good job, and we're not. Not because it's your fault in any way, but you're just not aware. So there's this great website. Why can't I go to the next slide? Okay. and it's called sugarstacks.com. If you go there, you can look at how different foods, and they literally stack up sugar cubes. And each one of these sugar cubes is the same as a teaspoon, right? So I'm going to show you a few examples just for you to get visuals. If we were live pre-COVID, I did all these events live, and we're literally pouring and measuring sugar, and people are like, oh my gosh, but we can't do that. So this is what we're going to do. And I love to show the Pop-Tart one because I remember vividly one day I dropped my son off at school, and there was a child like walking in late into school, and the mother was like shoving food in his mouth, and she was like, hurry up, just take a few more bites, take a few more bites. And it was a Pop-Tart. And my son looked at me and was like, Mommy, isn't that kid better off going to school hungry than eating that Pop-Tart? And I was like, yes. Because you know what? He's eating 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 teaspoons of sugar and food coloring. And then he's asked to sit in a chair and be quiet for the rest of the morning. Like, that's not happening, right? So anyway, we joke around that you're better off not eating breakfast and eating a Pop-Tart. But here's a yogurt that you would think no big deal, right? But now we're looking at also 6.5 teaspoons of sugar. So picture that little Yoplait yogurt and dump 6 teaspoons of sugar into it and see what that looks like. It's like a third of the container filled with yogurt, right? With sugar. Cinnabon, but you knew that those are not good for you, but that's a lot of sugar, right? Yeah. Let me, hold on. Okay. Then we have a Cliff Bar, which is considered a healthy snack. And I'm not saying not to eat these things. I just want to put it in perspective for you, right? Peanut butter and jelly. You probably didn't think there was so much sugar in your bread. And there it is in the bread. And then of course the fake maple syrup with the Lego, your Eggos, right? Now, one of the things, here's how much sugar we're eating, and you may or may not eat these things, but I just want you to be aware. But take a look at drinks. Oh my gosh, right? Is that crazy? What about this? A big gulp.
Oh, gosh.
Is that, I lost count. I think there's like 40 something teaspoons of sugar in that.
Wow.
It's insane. And I'm going to show you one more. Here's Coke, because I feel like people drink that a lot. P.S. If you're a caramel frappuccino drinker, there's 16 teaspoons of sugar in that. But here's what I want to show you. This is my favorite dessert. I'm a Haagen-Dazs girl. If it's not Haagen-Dazs, it's not worth eating. That's how I think of it. And I love vanilla Haagen-Dazs ice cream. When I sit down and eat ice cream, I'm very well aware, like Joanne, you had your sundae and you were very well aware that you were eating sugar. But now look at how much sugar is in a bowl of ice cream. And this looks like a small bowl, right? So I'd probably eat a little bit more than this. But look at that. What is that? 5.5 compared to my Pop-Tart or a Cliff Bar. You don't think that you're going to consume the same amount of sugar when you're eating a healthy granola bar than if you're eating a bowl of ice cream. And that's the point I want to make with you guys today, is that you don't need to stop eating sugar. You need to understand when you're eating sugar. If you're going to eat that ice cream, I want you to sit down. I want you to enjoy every second of that ice cream. But I just don't want you to eat hidden sugars, because that's where things don't go so great. Okay. Yes.
Betty, can I ask you a
Yep.
question?
Yeah.
So what do you think of like the keto ice creams, that are eliminating the sugar?
I'd have to look at the ingredients specifically and see what is in them. So if you want to snapshot something in your freezer and send it to me and text it to me, we can, we can talk about that. So here's what I want. One of the things I want you to do is think about how much sugar you're eating on a daily basis. And here's how you're going to do it. When you, there's a formula, and that's how they know all the little teaspoons of sugar. And I'm going to show you an example. When you go and look at the ingredient list, you're going to look at your grams of sugar. That's where you're going to go, grams of sugar. And you're going to divide it by 4. That's going to give you how many teaspoons of sugar there is. I'm going to give you an example. Here's a container of yogurt. See it? I'm going to look for the sugars. There's 20 grams of sugar in that. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? Okay. I have no idea what 20 grams of sugar looks like. I can't visualize it. I don't even know if that's a lot or a little. I don't get it. But if I divide by 4, and it's always 4, what's the magic number?
4.
Get it in your head. When you take the grams of sugar, divide by 4, you figure out how many teaspoons of sugar it is. So that's 5 teaspoons of sugar. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. I want you to do that with all of your food items. That's like my homework for you. You want to go do that, like go grab something and look at it now, go for it. You want to do it when we're off the call together? Perfect. But keep track of what you're eating and how much sugar is in it, because you might be surprised that that healthy cereal you're eating is loaded in sugar. And you think you're making a good choice, but you've been mistaken. Not by your fault, but because you just didn't know. But now you know because
Mhm.
of it, right? Okay. So so 20 grams of sugar divided by 4 equals your 5 teaspoons of sugar. Got it? Okay. I want you to remember that sugar is truly addictive. We're not making this up. You're not, when somebody says, like, I'm a sugar addict, they say it jokingly, but the truth is that it's addictive. They've
Mhm.
actually given lab mice sugar and cocaine, and sugar and cocaine. And we know how addictive cocaine is. And then they let the mice choose and they go to the sugar. And when they do brain scans, their brain lights up when there's sugar that comes into their body, right? So it definitely is addictive. You're not making it up at all. And I'm going to show you why. Your body is always going into balance, right? Like I talked to you, we spoke about before. And there's a few reasons for your cravings. You could be dehydrated, your could be off, you can have crashing blood sugar, your nutrient, like you're deficient in nutrition. Some of us are emotional eaters, right? And that's an unbalance
Mhm.
too when your emotions are off. And of course, your blood sugar being unstable. So any of these reasons are going to cause you to crave something to get you to where you need to be. So again, your body is talking. It's just a matter of whether you are listening. Let's take something that I find super simple to fix. Number one, when you're dehydrated, your body has a hard time pulling from energy storage. It just can't do it as efficiently. So instead of craving water, which the more I talk about water, the thirstier I get. I'm like, no, I need to drink. Your body's like, I need sugar. You know what? Why do you think your body goes for sugar and nothing else? Anybody want to take a guess? Why sugar?
It's a quick fix.
That's it. It's a quick fix. It burns instantly. So it goes from candy bar to sugar almost immediately. And your body knows that. And so it will give you the energy that you need. It'll spike you for sure, right? I mean, we've seen children go crazy, run around with sugar. So super simple. How do you prevent dehydration? One of my favorite tricks is to drink through a straw. I love drinking through a straw, although somebody the other day said that it was bad for your gums. Has anybody ever heard that? I don't know. You could Google it. I've drank through a straw. My gums are fine. But drinking and driving, I know that doesn't sound very good for us, but I get in the car with my big water bottle and I have trained myself now. I'm like Pavlov's dogs. The second I get in my car, I'm thirsty. It's like I conditioned my brain to know that I drink my water when I'm driving. And sometimes I'll drive 15, 20 minutes wherever I'm going and I don't even realize half my water's gone. I'm like, look at that. I just drank all this water. I had no idea. It just becomes habit. I like to drink out of metal or glass because it keeps things nice and cold more than plastic, but that's a personal preference. I happen to like cold water. Here's a fun trick, or I don't know if it's fun, but every time you go to the bathroom, every time you pee, drink a glass of water. What's that going to make you do? Pee more. And then you're going to drink a glass of water and it's going to make you pee more. You might be in the bathroom a lot, but even if you just take a few sips every time, it triggers you like, oh, I just peed. Let me go drink a little bit more, right? It will get you with that cycle. Being more active just makes you thirstier, right? If you're active, you're working out, you're walking, you're moving around, you just happen to be thirstier. And definitely watch your non-water drinks. Things like tea, things like coffee, things like iced tea. All of those things, as delicious as they may be, either have caffeine or extra sugar in them. So caffeine dehydrates you. And then you feel like you drank, but you really didn't. It's actually doing more harm than it is good. So just watch that. And people ask all the time, how much water do I need to drink? And the answer is half your body weight in ounces. But I don't keep track because I refill and then I have no idea. So if you're like me, I just drink until my pee is clear. And when my pee is clear, I'm like, okay, I'm good. If you wake up thirsty in the morning, you didn't drink enough the day before. You should be a little thirsty because you just went 8 to 9 hours without drinking. But if you're like truly thirsty, you're not drinking enough. That's another sign. Okay. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So drink your water. Maybe that'll help you with your sugar cravings, which will be nice. Okay. Yep. So energy. Joanne said we get a boost of energy quick from sugar because it raises our blood sugar quickly. It's a quick fix. So we get energy from sleeping and from food. You're not going to sleep in the middle of the day. Some people nap, but traditionally that's not really what we're doing. So during the day, what you need to focus on is ways that you can provide energy that are healthier options, right? But let me not forget that sleeping is really important. So if you could get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, that's going to make a big difference. I know for me, sometimes I'll stay up a few times a year, like I'll stay up really, really late and I'll get work done and I'm just like on a roll. And then it's 11, it's 12, everyone's sleeping. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that chocolate sounds good. Oh, is there a cookie? Like this second, I'm like, Letty, you need to go to bed. Like your body is literally saying to you, I'm tired. And so I've learned to listen to my body and I've learned, but it took me a long time. You know, I could stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning eating chocolate all night, but I'm like, okay, the second I start craving something, I'm like, I gotta go to bed. That's it. So sleep, go to sleep. Okay, you guys, this is the chart that I've been talking about. That is like the answer to everything I've ever tried to help people with. I was good all day and then I just was bad. And I hate that because I hate that for you, for people. I don't want anybody to feel bad. This is the chart that will solve all your problems. Do you see this blue line? This is a typical person or typical food. When you eat anything sugary, it goes up and then it crashes. Everything that goes up must come down. When you're up here and when you're down here, you are out of the zone of willpower. You literally can't control it because your body needs to function. Your body needs to balance its blood sugar. Your body needs energy. Your body needs to do what it needs to do. So it's saying, I need to get balanced. I'm too low. I got to get up. And then you spike and you're up and you're down. When you stay in this green zone right here, the zone of willpower, your cravings begin to change because your body is not balanced. It's balanced. You don't need to keep balancing yourself. So when you go through life from this point on, when you're eating anything with sugar or you're feeling like you're craving sugar, think to yourself, am I balanced? What can I do to balance myself? And it's usually not eating chocolate or cookies or anything with sugar. That's just going to bring you up and then you're going to crash right back down, right? So keep this in mind as we keep talking. One of the things to do to balance your blood sugar, at least to avoid high sugary and processed foods, because like we said, when you eat sugary foods, you crash, then you're going back up and down. Low glycemic. Do you guys know what glycemic index is? Let me know what that is. Yeah, Joanne, you want to share with everybody?
Kind of.
Dolores, go ahead, tell us. So Joanne doesn't.
Oh, I don't know. I said
Oh, you
kind of.
Oh, okay.
I think at the process that your body burns fat or sugar.
Sugar, yep.
Okay.
Something that's high glycemic has a lot, it burns very quickly. And it's very quick for it to spike. When it's low glycemic, it takes a long time for it to absorb into your bloodstream. So it keeps you in that zone of willpower. I'll give you an example. If you drank a big glass of apple juice, that would be a high glycemic, boom, sugar all the way up. But if you ate an apple, that's low glycemic. It may still have a lot of sugar in it because it's a fruit, but what happens is it has fiber and it has so many other pieces that help balance you so that you don't spike your blood sugar. That's why, even though fruit has a lot of sugar in it, nature created it in a way that it absorbs slowly in your body and is actually good for you. But the juices of it are not, because there's no pulp, there's no fiber, there's nothing to balance out. Okay. So you want to try to keep, you can Google low glycemic foods. So something like whole grain bread would be low glycemic, white bread would be high glycemic. I'm sure you've seen all those things in the past.
So many healthy people juice though.
You know what? That's a good point. And a lot of the juicing that they do is vegetable based. So,
Oh,
so you'll see like, like cucumber, celery, and a little bit of apple, right? But the apple's more for the taste. So you'll see a lot of kale and spinach smoothies and green stuff. But it's a good point, because you still have to be careful, because sometimes they put lots of fruit in it to mask the flavor, and it is high in sugar. Now, if it was a smoothie and you blended up the whole thing, it would be more low glycemic because it has the pulp and the fiber, not just the sugar from the juice. So that would be the difference between smoothie, like blending, and juicing. Does that make sense?
uh-huh.
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for saying that. God, even moving your body, exercising will help lower your blood sugar. I have a friend who's diabetic, and one day she was like, "Oh, my sugar's a little high." I'm like, "Well, what can I do?" She's like, "No, we just got to walk a little faster. I gotta exercise." And I was like, "Really?" And like, I knew it, but when I saw it firsthand, it really clicked. And then within minutes, her numbers crashed, like went back down again. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that worked so well," So just moving your body helps balance your blood sugar. So if you feel like you're crashing or you feel like you're spiking, go for a walk, get outside, move, go up and down the stairs a few times, do something to move your body. Okay. Let me just make sure no one's trying to get in here. Okay, good. All right. Now, I'm sorry, give me one second. Okay. There's a whole bunch of ways to get energy without sugar. Obviously, nutrient dense foods, things that are like kale, chia seeds, things that have a lot of nutrition in it are going to help you get a boost of energy without needing sugar. Obviously, sleep, like we talked about, exercise. If you're into essential oils, something like peppermint oil can really boost you up and wake you up a little bit. Doing some deep breathing. And I would avoid caffeine when you're tired. I know that sounds counterproductive. I mean, if it's late at night and you're driving, drink your caffeine because we don't want you to crash. But if you are like, if you're tired and then you drink your caffeine, it is more likely to keep you up later so that you won't get your good night rest. If you can just kind of suck it up and deal with the day and then go to bed earlier, you'll get much better rest than getting that artificial boost of energy. You don't want it. That's not going to support you in any way. One of the things that I found that really, really work extremely well for energy is trying a detox. I detox almost every month. I do a program that pulls toxins out of my body, changes my cravings. It was the first thing that I noticed. And when I started doing this, it's the first thing I started sharing with all of my clients, my health coaching clients, because it literally kept everybody in the zone of willpower. Now, when you diet or you over exercise, what happens is that you may lose weight, but you don't pull toxins out. So as soon as your body has an opportunity to put the weight back on to protect itself from the toxins, it will. Because what happens is this: when you come in contact with toxins, whether they're in what you eat, you drink, the lotions you put on your skin, your shampoos, your body sees that as an enemy. And it says, I don't want that near my organs, so I'm going to wrap it up in fat and I'm going to protect my body. They say sometimes that you are as fat as you are toxic. So when you're wrapped up all those toxins in fat to protect yourself. So when you lose the weight, the fat goes off, but as soon as your body has the opportunity to put it back on, it does to cover up those toxins again. Anybody here diet, lose weight, and then put it right back on? Any
Yes.
dieters? Yes.
Mhm.
And this is one of those reasons, because you could lose weight, but you didn't fully detox. When you cleanse your body, you're literally pulling toxins out into these little dots right here, right? The green, you pull them out, and then you'll rebound. You stay healthier longer because those toxins are not bringing that fat back in. And when you're toxic, and I'm not, listen, we're all toxic. I'm not saying, it's just typical because of the world we live in, right? Because things are polluted, our food, our air, all that stuff. It makes you sluggish. It changes
Mhm.
your cravings. It gives you headaches. It makes you bloated. It makes your belly hurt when you eat things that, all the time. So many, it helps you, you don't sleep as well because you're not as relaxed, calm, as clean. Your body is fighting like the toxins, not the toxins, right? So one of the things that I recommend everybody do is some sort of a detox. You could do a monthly like I do. I do a gentle detox. You could do it once a year, twice a year. It depends. Some people do full like juice cleanses. That may work for you. Doesn't work for me. I like to eat my food. So I have found a cleanse that I do that helps me sleep. I always sleep better, but now I feel like I sleep deeper. My bloat has disappeared. My energy level is through the roof. It literally makes me happier, which I know sounds crazy, but then I'm like, maybe I got rid of toxins in my brain and it makes me happy. But the one thing that I notice the most is my cravings change like unbelievably. Yesterday was my birthday. I had birthday cake. I had birthday cake today. Guess what I'm thinking about eating tomorrow? Cake. Because I started with the sugar. And so now my cravings are sugar because I'm, quickly addicted to it. But the second I start this detox, you could put anything in front of me and I'm like, there's nothing about me that wants that cake or that chocolate or those chips. I'm perfectly content. And it is a program that I do every month and it's called Shred 10. If you follow me, you may have seen me post about it or talk about something that I do. We do it in a group every month. We are kicking off our next shred Monday, November 9th. I'm super excited about it. November is my favorite shred because it gets us into holiday season. And when you go into the holiday season, detoxed, you lost a few pounds, your sugar cravings are gone, your energy level is high, you tend to make better choices. And I'm all about pigging out on Thanksgiving. I'm all about eating on Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I'm all about that. But there's no reason to sabotage our health all of November and all of December when there's 3 days of holidays, maybe 4 if you count New Year's, right? So there's 4 days, but yet since from Halloween to New Year's Day, people sabotage all the hard work that they did the whole year. Like, why do that to yourself, right? So I just feel like food shouldn't control us. We should be in charge, right? That's how you should feel. So when you do a shred, your cravings change and you go into the holiday feeling good and making good choices and saying, yeah, I am going to eat that dessert and I'm going to have 1 or 2 and I'm good. I don't need to eat it every day for the next 2 months. So it's my favorite shred. That one in January. I love January shred too. So anyway, so that's exciting. So if you'd like to join us, we'll talk about that later, but let's move on. So yes, detoxing. And so the shred is a 10-day program and you could do anything for 10 days. I love that avocado and sprig there. All right. One of the other key things is if you are nutritionally deficient. Now, each one of these may not speak to you. And Melissa, I know you said at the beginning, like, I eat clean, I eat really good stuff, so this may not be you. You may have another one of the reasons why you're craving food, right? But when you don't get enough nutrition in your day, your body starts to crave it. And so instead of craving kale, it says, I need something, feed me. I need something. I need that energy. It's always back to energy, right? And so we go to sugar. Take a look at this. In 1953, 1 bowl of spinach had the same nutritional value as what today is 53 bowls of spinach. Isn't that crazy? Like, I think that's just nuts how our food has changed. So when you think about, hey, I just had a spinach salad, I must be doing amazing. Well, yes, in 1953, now you're doing just okay because our food has changed. So we need to be aware of that. Okay. So sometimes
So angry.
what?
Makes me so angry.
Makes you so, I know. It should make you angry. It has a lot to do with we have genetically modified our seeds. So
Mm-hmm.
that changes things. Our soil is not as nutrient dense as it used to be. Our growing methods are not the same. Our chemicals that we put on our food, even if they're organic, because I'm a big proponent of organic, but growing organic, first of all, there's plenty of pesticides and herbicides that are organic safe, technically. And once the
Mm-hmm.
food's on the truck, they could spray it with whatever they want. They didn't say it was shipped organically, it was grown organically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really know what you're getting. And so, Melissa, I have a tower garden. I grow my own food indoor and outdoor year round. So I can control that. And I literally eat it right off the vine. And that's the other
Awesome.
thing, right? When you get bananas, what color are they? The
I
green,
know.
right? Because if
Mm-hmm.
they were yellow when they were picked, they'd be rotten by the time they got to you. But food has its full nutrition at the end stages of growing, but everything's picked too soon. So when you're eating from your garden or from your tower garden, like I do, then your food, I don't eat everything from my tower garden, but I grow a lot from it. Your food is all the nutrients it needs. But when you're eating from the supermarket, it was picked too early before it had it all in there. So that kind of accounts for it too. And yes, it should make you mad, Melissa. But eating more nutrient dense foods, and I'm going to give you an example in a second, eating as many colors as you can. If you have picky 16-year-olds like Jamie does, sneaking it in, avoiding filling up on nutrient lacking foods like we talked about before. If you're filling up on something that's not serving your body, you're going to have no room left to eat what does serve your body. For example, pretzels. To me, pretzels are like a neutral food. They don't help you, they don't hurt you. But if you're filling up on pretzels, you're not going to want carrots after that, right? It's just not going to happen. And of course, I have my secret weapon because everybody needs a secret weapon, just like we're frustrated that our spinach does not have enough nutrients as it used to and that everything's picked too soon. Oh, I'll get to my secret weapon in a second. This is an example of something that's nutrient dense. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds has more potassium than a banana, more antioxidants than blueberries. Think of 5 times more calcium than milk. People will say to me, I have to drink milk. My kids have to drink milk. They need calcium. No, they do not. They need other forms of calcium, right? So take a look. This is nutrient dense. Throw them in smoothies, put it in a muffin, just make chia seed pudding out of it, eat it raw, whatever it is. This is something you want to look for. Things like chia seeds, things like kale, things that are nutrient dense, that you'll get your most like bang for your buck. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Stop me at any point, you guys.
Does that have a flavor?
Chia seeds?
Yeah.
Not so much. Like if you sprinkle it on a salad, you're not really going to taste it, but they're seeds. So you're going to chew on them. If you throw it in a smoothie, it doesn't change the flavor so much, but it does get I can't say that word, like gelatinous. That's the right word.
Yes.
So you want to just kind of drink it up pretty quickly. I do make chia seed pudding that I love. I mash up a banana or two, and then I throw the chia seeds in and some liquid so you could do like water or oat milk or almond milk or whatever you want, and some cinnamon. And you put it in the refrigerator for a few hours or overnight. It's delicious. It looks disgusting. I'm going to warn you, it looks nasty, but it's delicious. So you could try that. Yeah. There's a lot. You Google chia seed like recipe ideas and you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. People put it on the top of acai bowls. You could do that. Or literally you could just eat a teaspoon of it or tablespoon and just swallow it and you're fine. It doesn't taste bad. So this is my secret weapon. And again, if you are someone who follows me on social media, you know that this is something I do every day, all day. My family, my kids, my parents, my grandparents, my husband, we are obsessed with this. Why? Because in about 6 seconds, I consume over 30 fruits, veggies, and berries that are raw, vine ripened, and higher than organic standards. So everything that's in there, I consume in capsule form. We also have in gummy forms like that my son takes. And it's changed the picture of our health for sure. It's given me energy that I never imagined I had. Before I found Juice Plus, when I was health coaching, as a health coach, I knew what to do. I knew how to take care of myself. I was literally falling asleep at the dinner table, running my business, handling my kids, my house. There's a picture of me sleeping at dinner. Like the kids fall asleep in the high chair, except that I was a full-fledged adult. So even though I knew what I needed to do and I was doing it, it just wasn't enough. So being able to get raw acerola cherries and beets and garlic and dates and elderberries and artichokes all raw, blended up with the seeds and the stems and the fiber and all of that together and dehydrated and put into a capsule gives me peace of mind, and it takes away all my mom guilt. Did my kids eat enough today? Did they not? Did they make the right choices? We talk about it. I teach them obviously how to eat, but at the end of the day, I know that they're healthy and they're strong because they're consuming all of these fruits and vegetables every day. So that's my secret weapon. I will never go a day without it. And I like to share it because it's a tool that changed our life. It could be for you. If not, no worries. I think it should be for everyone because who can't use more fruits and vegetables? But, that's for you to decide for sure. The other part now, another reason for cravings. Anybody here be an emotional eater? Anyone get like,
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of people are like, let me sit in front of the TV with the whole pint of ice cream and, whatever. I actually eat when I'm happy. When I want to celebrate something, I'm like, oh, we'll make this and we'll make that. So emotions are all over. They could be sad emotions, happy, depressed, lonely, and we can eat. In a short 45-minute workshop, I am not going to get to the bottom of emotional eating. That is like years of therapy for many people, right? So I'm not even going to attempt to pretend like I am. But I will tell you that there are some, I went too far. There are some things that we can do. And oh my goodness, I'm trying to move the screen so I could see you guys. Okay. And I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. Sorry. So one of the things is first identifying, if you could say to yourself, you know what, I'm sitting here binge eating and it's because I'm upset or I'm annoyed, and identify it. That's the biggest first step. And that goes for everything that we talked about, like identifying, oh, I'm having a craving. Who's going to win this? The sugar addiction or me? Am I really going to let sugar control me, or am I in charge? Right? So
Mhm.
think about that. The one thing that I like to focus on is like, forget how I feel right now or what I want. How am I going to feel after I eat it? And it's something I think about a lot when I am, if I go out to dinner and, you order, you're like, I want this and I want this and I want that. And I think, how am I going to feel when I'm done? When everyone feels full and you want to unbuckle your pants, is that who I want to be? Or do I want to be like, I made a good choice. I feel really good. That dinner was good and I'm not so stuffed and feel disgusting. So when you're going to eat something, whether it's from an emotional perspective or whether it's from whatever, for any one of your cravings, ask yourself, how am I going to feel after I eat it? And I don't even mean emotionally, I mean physically, how are you going to feel,
Mhm.
right? And is food really going to fix this? Is that really what I need right now? Or what will help me, right? So of course, we all have heard like breathing exercises, meditation, journaling, all these things help emotional eating, and they do. But there is two that I think really make a difference. One is moving, like get out of the kitchen, go somewhere else, change your setting, go for a walk, get outside, move your body. When you move your body, you change your energy. You could be upset, you go outside, you go for a walk, you come back, totally new person. Go take a shower or whatever. Like just change your environment and it changes everything. The other thing is do something that fills you up, that really does bring you joy. So maybe for you, it's knitting. I don't know. So go do something that makes you happy. Maybe it's calling a friend. Go call a friend. Maybe it's jumping in your pool in the summer. Go like find something that does bring you joy so that you're not filling that void with food and you're filling it with something healthier, something that will actually serve you. So keep that in mind. All right, let's recap. I know you guys have been with me for a long time. This is what I want you to think about. Maybe you want to take a picture of the screen. When you feel like, and I'll take you, okay. When you feel like, I want this, I want to eat that. I'm in the mood for sugar. Like Melissa, you're saying after lunch or after dinner, all you want is sugar, right? Think about how much sugar did I eat today? Was it a lot? How much good stuff did I feed my body, right? So am I feeding myself nutrient dense foods? And am I having, if this is a craving, am I thirsty? Am I tired? Did I eat enough today? Am I emotional? Try to pinpoint and identify where the craving is coming from. Don't just assume that because you want sugar that you need to eat it, because you don't, because you're in control of what goes in your body, right? So think about that from a kind of like, I don't want to say a battle, but like, who's going to win? Is it you or the craving? You are stronger than that craving. You don't need to give in because you understand where it's coming from and you can identify it now. Your body's trying to get balanced and you have to figure out, am I thirsty? Am I tired? Did I eat enough nutrients? Am I right? So go through all that. And when you can identify it, then you can change it. But until you identify it, it's very hard for you to actually change it. So what I want you to think about is, what can I do today, tonight, tomorrow, right away to help your cravings? Maybe it's adding more water. Maybe it's an earlier bedtime. Maybe it's adding different foods. Maybe it's joining me on the detox. What do you think? And I'd love to hear from you guys so that you can kind of be a little bit more accountable and just say it out loud. Does anybody want to share one thing that they want to, that they're going to do for themselves? Like, what's the one thing that you can do today?
Well, now I'm thirsty, so I'm going to get some more water.
All right, good. You're going to let me drink too.
That's what I was going to say.
You
I
guys,
feel
that's
like I feel like the thing that's sticking with me is just move.
move. Get your body, move.
Like if I tell my, because usually, so I've tried before many of times, I'm sure you all have. Why do I want the sugar? And it's always emotional. It's always like, I think I deserve it for some reason.
Okay.
At night, I did all these things for all these other humans that I was supposed to do. And I think I deserve to enjoy it. So that's usually what I like, talk to myself, and then I just give in. But I feel like maybe if I could just get in the habit of like, just move right now. I have an elliptical. If I could go on the elliptical every night, instead of that time, and like replace it. I mean,
Okay.
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
But
Does
you know
anybody
what?
have like success stories? Because I feel like I'm just a big failure.
Do not feel that way.
No.
No, do not feel that way. Please. This is
It's
why
like
you're here.
40 something years of like not conquering this already,
But have you really learned how to conquer it? Have you really taken the time to try to do it? Or have you just been like, oh my God, I'm so bad, I shouldn't eat this sugar?
I mean, honestly, I really, most of my life have eaten whatever I want, whenever. I've gotten on like good kicks here and there when I've been healthier, but I've never really mastered it.
Okay. But doesn't mean you can't start today, right? And I'm happy to connect with you after and work one-on-one with you too. So just, where to find me, I think, right? So just message me on Facebook and then we'll connect and we'll talk. And I have a wellness group that you could go in. Like, I have so many free resources and so much stuff that we can do together, that if you really, and this goes to everybody, if you truly feel like, I want to master this and I want to get over the sugar thing, you absolutely can. Half the battle is figuring out why you're craving stuff and where it's coming from, and then being like, I got this, right? And one of the things you said, Melissa, and I think that many women feel this way, is I deserve this, right? I did this, I made this guy's lunch and this guy's breakfast, and I cleaned up this house and I did a load of laundry and I did this. And like, now it's my turn and I'm going to treat myself to whatever, right? But at the end of the day, you have to question, is that truly treating you? Or, right? Like, is that really serving you? Is that really, of course you deserve tons of things and amazing things. You deserve to feel good and be healthy and be proud of what you do, right? So yes, you deserve something, but maybe sugar's not what you need. Maybe you deserve something better than that, right? So think about that and what would fill you up. Maybe it's taking a bath. Maybe it's lighting some candles and reading a book. Maybe it's closing the door and telling everyone to leave you alone. Like, that may be more effective than eating sugar and then shaming yourself for it. And I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to everybody, because I can feel that way. Anybody else want to chime in? So you're going to jump on the elliptical or move. If you don't love the elliptical, put on music and dance. That's it. Like, make it fun. Don't make it a chore, life's too short. Have fun with it.
I just needed the
Well-
boost from you again because it works.
It does.
Because
Just
I
hearing
did
me-
it. I did when you encouraged me to do it. I got my sugar down with the pre-diabetes, and I just needed another
Another pep
Letty.
talk.
because it does work. And plus, I'm not working anymore.
Okay.
And when I did work, I was running around constantly at the job. So it was a constant. So now I'm older, menopause,
More time on your hands.
excess belly fat is coming around and, and I exercise every day,
Good. Good. for
whether
you.
it's 15 minutes or 45 minutes.
Awesome. Awesome.
So it's just, I needed that pep talk again.
So
with
what's
the
one thing
sugar.
that you're going to do differently?
I'm definitely gonna think before I put the sugar.
Okay.
And I'm still gonna have my little coffee. I have 1 cup of coffee every day, so that's something
And
I
that's
won't give up.
okay.
But when you live with people that can eat sugar all day long and, they're rails, and
But remember, Debbie-
it's all in the house already.
Right. Right.
Cookies and ice cream and stuff, and I just have to look
But,
away.
Go ahead, Janine. Were you gonna say
I was
something?
going to say, with the shred, because I'm speaking from experience and doing it, you really don't crave all that. Like my kids, obviously, so much Halloween candy that I could be swimming in it. But if I'm like detoxing and doing the shred, like I don't want it. Like it doesn't really, like I don't feel like I need it.
I
I
agree.
don't know. I'm looking forward to Monday.
I know, me too. Me too.
And I have to say though, I still make those energy balls.
I know. I love that you sent me a picture the other day. I
And,
love
and,
that.
and I still make them at least once a month.
That's awesome.
They're phenomenal.
And tell
Now,
everybody how you
is
make-
that sugary? I mean,
Well,
is
what
that
do you put
bad?
in them? How are you making them?
You gave me the recipe, but it has the peanut butter, coconut, chocolate chips, I think you gave me. Oh, instead of the raisins, I did cran raisins because I
Okay.
had those.
Those have a lot of sugar. All those kind of raisins and dried fruit has a lot of sugar. So just watch that. So I make the energy, but I've changed how I make them, and I make them.
Oh, so you don't use the raisins anymore?
No, I don't. Because that's
Okay,
high in sugar, and I
okay.
use protein powder. And there's a protein powder that I use that is protein, but yet it feels like a dessert because it's a chocolate protein powder. So mixing that with the peanut butter and the oats, it comes out incredible, and you're getting protein out of it.
Oh, so the
That's
protein
my,
powder
that's
is
my
instead of
afternoon
what?
snack.
That's your afternoon snack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many. I have a whole cookbook of different recipes. There's pumpkin one, there's chocolate one, there's peanut butter. There's like a million of them.
So instead of what product do I
In
replace
addition
the
to-
protein powder? In addition to add protein powder?
yeah, but just
Like
make sure it's a good, clean protein powder. Make sure, that it's a vegetarian one, that there's no dairy in it, and again, you and I can talk about what a good option would be. There's a few, but yeah, I find that, and Janine uses them every day, right? The balls. Yeah.
Yep. I showed Dolores, right, Dolores?
Oh, Dolores, you make them too?
She sits next to me, so I show her them.
Oh, you guys work
I
together?
lost you guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, good. Okay.
yeah. So we can talk about it.
Protein powder, okay.
Dolores, what?
Oh, no.
Dolores, we're here. Anybody else
Okay.
weigh in? Do you want to jump in and say anything that you want to change or do moving forward? And Janine, you're next.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, which is why I started this program with the CBD company I'm with. So they have something called Evolve. So that's what I'm doing right now. When there is a protein shake, which they changed because they used to have whey in it, and now it's much different now.
Good.
Takes a little while to get used to. But today when I made the shake, the smoothie, I added frozen fruit to it.
Okay.
And that was much better,
Okay, good.
much better. And not a lot, just,
To give it a taste.
yeah,
Well, if you need a pep talk along the way, just call me.
thank you.
You're welcome. Janine, oh, let's go to Dolores because I know we lost you. What's one thing that you could do differently starting tonight or tomorrow? You know, that
Just eat better. I
example.
I've been using Juice Plus now since June,
Oh, nice. I didn't
and
know.
I feel really good, but I still have not been eating like I should.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna do the shred on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm actually having a
Yay.
colonoscopy Monday, so
Well, you'll be
that'll
cleaned out. You'll be ready to
yes,
go.
That's a real
that's the
detox.
start. So
That's
um
perfect.
yeah, so that's what I've got to do. So and you were very inspirational.
Oh, thanks.
Listening to. I used to go to Weight Watchers, but once COVID hit, everything shut down. So and I stocked up like it was Armageddon, and it was all sugar. So
Listen, let's put I mean, the the quarantine was hard on a lot of people. Let's not
yeah,
go there.
yeah.
Let's not shame ourselves. Let's just
Oh
move
yeah,
forward
no,
and let's just
yes,
see. And honestly, you guys, what I said about the holidays, keep that in your mind. Do not sabotage 2 months full because there's 4 days of holidays. Eat all you
exactly.
want on Thanksgiving, eat all you want on Christmas, but there's no need for you to eat everything you want from today through Thanksgiving because it's November. What the heck? The holidays are coming, you know?
Right,
Don't
right.
do that to yourself. Have more respect for yourself. Like you deserve more. You deserve health. You deserve energy. You deserve for your skin to be glowing. You deserve so much more. Don't let yourself get sabotaged by bad food choices. Don't even
Right, right.
Joanne, yes.
So when you mentioned Thanksgiving, I love cranberry sauce, which, it's terrible for you. Have you ever made it where it's low sugar? Like, have you done anything like that?
I don't really make it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't do a lot of Thanksgiving cooking. I always go to other people's houses. I'm sure you can just do the same recipe with less sugar or use more coconut sugar or monk fruit sugar. But honestly,
Well, I've never made it. I always
Oh,
buy the can.
honestly, I feel like it's one day a year. Eat the freaking cranberry sauce and enjoy every bite of it. Like that's how
Thank you. Okay.
if you were to eat something like this every day, I would say, okay, let's look at your everyday habits and let's see how we can change it. Like I was saying to you guys, go look at your pantry. What do you eat every day? How much sugar is in it? Divide those
Mhm.
grams by 4. Your everyday, yes, needs to be tweaked. Your Thanksgiving, go for it. Just eat it because that's not a habit. Good. Anybody else want to say anything or share anything? All right, I'm gonna share my screen with you for like 30 more seconds, and I'm just gonna tell you where you can find me in case you're looking for me or you don't follow me as is. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram. It's all right here. My Facebook, I have 2 Facebook accounts because I cannot delete one of them. It's the Letty Algieri 1, and it's this picture right here. That's the one you want to use if you're not already following me. I do a live webinar every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. You can watch it live on Facebook. You can watch the recording. I run an awesome wellness group with recipes and tricks and tips that we post every day. I also send out a newsletter. And of course, you can always detox with me every month. And this month starts Monday, November 9th. And we're super excited for that. You can check me out on my website, lettyalgieri.com, or my Instagram, Letty Algieri. Like I try to keep everything as consistent as possible. It's all Letty Algieri. And I'd love, to kind of see your progress and see where you're at and what your how things are moving and what I can do to help you. So any of those ways, feel free to take advantage of all those free resources. Oh, Debbie, did I go to do you want me to go back?
You see, I'm writing.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Sorry, here you go. Here you go. There it is.
Okay.
Right away. Okay. Well, you
Got
guys,
it.
thank you so much for joining me. It's my pleasure to serve you guys and
Thank you.
pour into
Thank you.
Thank you,
yes.
Letty.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night, everybody.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Melissa, are you and I Facebook friends?
I am.
What's your last name? Do you mind? Wait, let me stop the recording. Hold on.
On Facebook,